Okay, there's a reason Ramadan starts or end dates are one of the most searched phrases every year. That's because Muslims around the world do not know when exactly Ramadan is supposed to start or end. Now, if you Google it, you'll see that there is a little disclaimer under the Google's answers that says dates may vary. Well, that's because it has something to do with the moon, as well as disagreements about science, history, and tradition, plus a bit of geopolitical rivalry. The beginning of each new month in the Islamic calendar starts on the new moon, which means the month of Ramadan starts on the new moon. Simple enough, right? Well, that's wrong. Well, today, let's talk about why there are always confusions about when the month of Ramadan starts or ends. And this is going to be our last episode for this Ramadan, inshallah. As-Salaam Alaykum, everyone. My name is Abdul Majid, and welcome back to Ramadan Pep-Talk. Now, if it's been a while since your high school astronomy class, here is a reminder of what the phases of the moon looks like. We have the new moon, then the waxing crescent, followed by the first quarter, the waxing gibbous, the full moon, the waning gibbous, the third quarter, and the waning crescent. So, back in the Prophet's days, in the 6th century Arabia, astronomical calculations were not as precise as they are today. So, people went by what they could see with the naked eyes. Since the new moon isn't actually super visible in the night sky, Muslims traditionally waited to start fasting until the small sliver of crescent moon became visible. Now, there is even a saying attributed to the Prophet Muhammad about waiting to start the fast until you see the crescent. Some people think this is why the star and crescent are a symbol of Islam, but that crescent was used as a symbol long before that. This method was a bit messy though, since there are things like clouds or just the difficulty of spotting the moon in some locations, which often led to different groups starting their fast on separate days. Even within the same country, each community, village, or even mosque within the village might send its own guy out to look for the crescent, with rival groups arguing whether the other guy really saw it. Today, however, we have precise scientific calculations that tell us exactly when the new moon begins. And we don't need to wait until someone spots a tiny crescent in the sky. In fact, according to the Oxford Dictionary of Islam, the need to determine the precise appearance of the Hilal, that's the crescent moon, was one of the inducements for Muslim scholars to study astronomy. So, problem solved, except that some Muslim scholars believe that we should still wait until the slight crescent of moon is visible in the night sky, because that was what the Prophet was said to have done, and that's the way we've always done it. Others even argue that Islam has a strong tradition of reason, knowledge, and science, and that if the Prophet were around today, he'd choose the more precise scientific calculations over sending the guy at the mosque with the best eyesight outside to look at the night sky. To make things even more fun, some argue that the whole world should just follow the official moon sighting decrees of Saudi Arabia, the birthplace of Islam, and the location of its earliest site. But not everyone thinks that's such a swell idea, especially rival countries like Pakistan and Iran, which bog the idea of treating Saudi Arabia as the ultimate authority on anything having to do with Islam. All this means that each year, Muslims around the world get to experience the delightful lunacy of moon sighting fighting. It's such a familiar feature of Ramadan that there are even memes about it. So these are the most popular reasons why Muslims tend to often disagree about the start and end days of the month of Ramadan. And we keep on asking Allah to give us the opportunity to witness many more of these amazing months in our lifetimes. And if you love this content, I really appreciate if you can like the video, drop your comments, opinions, and pieces of advice. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share with friends and loved ones. Thank you all for staying tuned and hope we meet again next Ramadan, inshallah. Masalam.
Allahi Allah, Allahi Allah.